Okay, cool, guys. Can you hear me? Is everything okay? Just put it in the chat if you guys can hear me out. Okay, cool. So I'm assuming you guys can hear me. Yeah, cool. So welcome to the Freshers Quiz. I'm Ishan. I'm the coordinator of the Bizgoa Quiz Club. Thank you all for registering. So before we start the prelims, we'll just run through a short list of instructions. It's 5-1 right now. We'll start at around 5-5. We'll allow some time for everyone to come online. Again, guys, just don't do some BT like posting the answers on the live chat or on the WhatsApp group or something. It will leave us with no other option than to disqualify you, and it just ruins the fun for everyone else also. So, yeah. So, just going through some basic rules right now. Yeah. So, there's 25 questions in this prelims. The Google form that you've got would have answer slots for all those 25. The last five questions have two parts in each, so thus the total is a 30 totals of 30 points. We have kept inbuilt tiebreakers, so some questions which we think are slightly tougher than the others to get, we have kept those as tiebreakers. And if some teams are stuck even after going through the tiebreakers, then we'll go through sudden death, and the team that gets the first answer wrong will sadly have to drop out in that case. So yeah, so the basic point of the prelims is that we're going to take the top teams and then we're going to conduct the finals for them. So again, point four, we have Google Traps. So again, I can't really ask you for integrity because fair enough, professors also ask for integrity, and a lot of us don't pay them any heed. So I don't think I can expect anything much better from you guys. But yes, there are Google Traps. So if there are certain answers which we know have been certainly Googled by you guys, we'll disqualify your entire team entry, and there'll be no negotiation regarding that point. Okay. And again, like the professors, unlike the professors, we aren't beholden or we don't have any moral responsibility towards you. So I'll just disqualify you without anything. So just don't do it. Also, so clearly don't use internet to like search for answers and stuff. You're communicating with your friends, communicating with your teammates. That's all right. Otherwise, what's the point of a team? And yeah, team numbers. Yeah, so the form has a team number as a required category. The team number is the number on your like the next to your entry on the team sheets that are there in the WhatsApp group description. So yeah, so if you just go to the sheet, search your name, and your team number should be next to your entry. Cool. Again, if team members are missing from your teams, I can't really help it. Uh, the best I could do was randomize the teams and provide you guys with the means to get through. And yeah, so we'll just wait for like one more minute. Oh yeah, I'll repeat the. Oh yeah, the T-shirt. That's the Quiz Club T-shirt. Buzzers. So yeah, if you win the finals, you might stand a chance to win this. Can't guarantee anything right now. So yeah, cool. We're waiting for some queries to be sorted on the WhatsApp group. As soon as those queries are sorted, we'll move forward. Yeah, repeat the instructions once again. It's pretty simple. Again, the questions in the Google form. The questions in the Google form itself are not compulsory to answer, so you can obviously leave any answers blank. But then again, there is no negative marking because why would we? So hit us with your wildest guess. Sometimes those guesses come all right. So yeah, we'll just wait for some queries to be started. Once my team tells me that the queries have been sorted, we'll move ahead. The Google form would be shared on the WhatsApp group. Like one person from your team is ideally on that group because we floated that link yesterday. Time per question. Google Traps basically means yeah, team name you can put anything you want. Just if you can't think of something, just put some random things. If you submitted a team name in your original form, just put that team name. Yeah, wait, Anvesh, I'm coming to your point. So Google Trap basically means that there's some questions which we will know if the answers are Googled because those answers will be wrong. So yeah, if we find those answers in your sheet, then we'll disqualify you. Time per question, there's no set time per question. How much ever I feel is enough for the length of the question and for how tough it is. Just will start as soon as I get the go ahead from my team. They're sorting some issues on the WhatsApp group right now. Yeah, again, those of you who were randomly allotted, you would have been allotted a team. Check the sheet. Yeah, Devdas, I'd like to start as fast as we can, but there's some issues that people are having with their teams and with the form right now. So yeah, Aryan, on the WhatsApp group, only one member of the group has to fill the form. Again, if there is multiple entries from your team, like with the same team number or something, then you have to disqualify that team. So just Darshana, one second. Oh yeah, you can sit on a Gmeet with your teammates. You can sit on Gmeet, Discord call, whatever you guys are comfortable with. Total time for the quiz, we'd like to keep it within an hour and a half. It just depends on how fast we can start. Abhinav, again, if you have registered and if you're part of the WhatsApp group or you've got an email from me, or if you've contacted me late afterwards, like on WhatsApp, and I have sent you the WhatsApp group link, then you're part of the uh, quiz. Otherwise, like you're participating in the quiz. Otherwise, you're an audience. The questions I have not shown you the questions yet. The questions will be shown on the slide. See, Khushi, I'm okay with starting the quiz at 5:10 as well. As just as fast as I get a go ahead from my team from my team, I'll start with the quiz. It's not my idea. It's an old. See, I won this shirt in my freshers quiz. So क्वेश्चन नहीं आया अब तक, रुको थोड़ा. Okay, cool. 5:10 I'll start. Again, guys, don't spam the chat too much. Keep the live chat only for like doubts or queries regarding the questions if you have any. Cool. We ready to go? Let me just confirm. किसने डिजाइन किया? Some super senior. They've passed out now. I really don't know their name. See, Sagar, why I'm not disabling chat is because in case you guys have any doubts regarding some of those questions, I want you to be able to ask those to me, so I can clear them out. I can give you some hints regarding the answer if you're not really getting it. Again, if one of you, yeah, they can spam answers. I know. So the second someone spams an answer, they're out of the meet. Like they're out of they're form gets disqualified, and basically then the chat gets then the chat gets closed, so you guys can't even ask any doubts anymore. So is 69 a universal answer? Either that or 42. So cool. So we'll start in 1 minute right now. 5:11 is when we are starting. Again, I'm not really waiting for much longer for you guys to sort your teams and stuff. Ideally, Abhinav, you should not spam answers here because that will just get your team disqualified. Rohan, yeah, I mean, it's related to the inductions of the quiz club, as in it is a pre-induction event, and we'll tell you the details regarding the inductions in some time. Cool. If anybody has any doubts regarding the quiz or the format of the quiz, just ask in the chat right now. Otherwise, I'll be starting. Oh, brilliant, Abhinav. Then please don't spam the answers. Otherwise, you'll just shut the chat for everyone, so no one can ask any doubts. Yeah, you can answer all the questions at the end. We'll have a small rerun through the questions. So if you have any doubts, you can just leave that blank. Cool. So we shall be starting. Um, I'm really sorry to keep you hold slightly. Yeah, Atharva, I'm just waiting for the. See, Aryan, you have a Google form on the WhatsApp group. Just start filling out a Google form. The questions will be in form, right? So I'll give you the questions. I'll display the questions in a bit, then you can start answering. Cool. There will be a small run through at the end. So if you have a doubt regarding some question, you can leave that one blank and you can answer that one later. The form will close within 1 or 2 minutes of the last of the reader ending. So don't be like, oh, I wasn't able to submit the form at the end of the quiz. After I said it's done, it's done. Okay. Okay. I'm starting now. Yeah. So the first question for you guys, again, don't spam the answers over here, would be this. So the elements in this certain logo can be explained as the molecule, which represents science, lotus flower represents arts and humanities, the rocket represents technology, the gear represents engineering. So what logo am I talking about over here? Yeah, Nandakumar, don't worry about Google traps right now. Just if you don't use any unfair means, you're cool with it. Rishan, it will be about an hour, 45 minutes, not longer than that. Cool. So this question, pretty self-explanatory. This logo has these four elements, basic elements. What logo am I talking about over here? Cool. So moving on to the next question in like 30 more seconds, in 20 more seconds. Cool. So moving on to the next question. So this family business is based out of Wisconsin, and they get their name, like the surname of the family comes from the fact that the ancestors were coal burners in Germany. Okay, so because again the coal burners in Germany, which means this is a common surname in and around Germany, and thus the same surname is also there for a character who's a part of the Netflix series Dark. Okay, so now the family business is a huge company known in a completely different field from coal burning to us. So basically, what company is this? Some of you might also know it from a sports context, as it is one of the sponsors of one of the biggest teams in the world. So think about coal burner, think about Germany, think about how Germans spell things. and you should get somewhere close to an answer. And then again, big companies in a completely unrelated field from coal burning. Again, American company, if that gives any of you any ideas. Anushil Solanki, not. I mean, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do with that. That might be the correct answer. But yeah, if you guys are gonna answer spam like this on the chat, then yeah, then I think we're gonna have to close that now. Yeah, cool. If you get, yeah, so you see right. If you put any answer in the chat, you get timed out. And again, guys, don't just blindly copy what someone has put in the chat just because we gave them a timeout. All right, because that answer might itself be wrong, and they might be like pulling some mad strategies to get you all to score lesser marks or something. Okay, yeah, Aditya, I'll lead them off if they are continuing with this further, but fine. Cool. So, company, common German surname, coal burners. That's question two. Moving on to question number three. Okay, a certain music track on the 1971 album Metal by Pink Floyd was one of several to be considered for the band's best of album. All right. Now, a reviewer from the Rolling Stone described the song as a clever spoof because the song basically ends with a certain British crowd singing a completely different song at the end. All right. Now now this different song in question was termed as one of his desert island discs. So basically, they asked them the question: Ki, what are some five discs you'd like to take with you if you're stuck on a desert island? And this Scottish football manager in the 1960s put this different song in question on one of his desert island discs. My very simple question is, what is the different song? Not the one by Pink Floyd, but what's the other song which they spoofed towards the end? Again, keywords over here could be Scottish football manager, desert island discs. See, you can try to Google search it. We've tried to Google it as much as we could. Some questions there is a good chance that that the answer you get from Googling is not the answer that we're looking for. So in case we find any of those questions, then if in case you find any of those answers in your sheet, then we'll have to disqualify your team and we won't entertain any arguments from your end. So let's just save both of us the pain and just not Google it. I was kind of sad for you, bro. I don't really know what I can do over here, but I just want a different song, not the Pink Floyd song. Okay, cool. What is a different song over here? Scottish football manager, Desert Island Discs, clever spoof by Pink Floyd on Medal. So that's question number three. Question number four coming up. Topics. This is a general quiz. There's lots of topics: sci-tech, gen, music, sport, just everything. Cool. Uh, yeah. Mudit, could you put Devdas also in timeout? I don't like people giving hints which I have not given. Yeah. Cool. So question number four. So easy enough. This is the minimalistic poster for which movie? Again, I won't spend too long on this question. It's easy enough. These two things suspended by ropes or strings. Cool. I'll wait on this question for like 10 more seconds because I mean, yeah, we'll cover this in the rerun, but there's not really much to read or see over here. Okay, cool. I can't tell you that, Natik. It might be Hollywood, it might be Bollywood, it might be something completely different. You guys should just go with your gut, whatever you feel is the correct answer. Again, at least in my batch, 2018 batch, this is a pretty popular movie. So I don't think most of you should have any answer. Like, there's not that much of a culture gap within 2 years. So there shouldn't be much question. I'm not going to tell you which language it is. Come on. Okay, cool. Easy enough. So question number five would be this. So at Netflix, the framework and library that they use to create fine-grained microservices. So the way you create these microservices, you clone them from this basic framework, and the framework is named Dash. Okay. Now, according to the GitHub wiki, which obviously Netflix maintains, it says that Dash in the context of molecular biology is essentially a part of the cell containing blah 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 blah. You can read all that. So every part of the cell can be considered to be formed from the basic information stored in this part, and thus obviously this name Dash makes sense. So keep calm and fill in that blank. Again, so for those of you who might be slightly new to quizzing, if we generally italicize any words in the question, then that is a separate hint which we don't want to like speak out loud, but just like heads up to those who are quizzing for the first time over here. Cool. So again, one part of the question should, I mean, there's only one part to the question, but part of the cell containing DNA, RNA, etc., etc., etc. You guys would have learned in your bio F111. I'm not going to rehash that. The answer, yeah, but the answer I want is not the first thing that would come to your mind regarding that. So just keep calm and fill in the blank. Fill in the blank. FITB is fill in the blank. Cool. So Netflix framework, most of the microservices are cloned from this framework. It's called, it borrows this term from biology, and just fill in the blank. Cool. No, it's the same. It's the same word in both blanks. Oh, and blank is indicative. Like you can see the amount of space named takes, right? So the actual word takes almost similar amount of space. Okay, question number 6. Moving ahead, question number 6. Okay, so Pana Talin is an Estonian rum-based liquor. Now, this is drank as a shot or mixed with coffee, but its most popular form is that of a cocktail. All right. So the cocktail is unfortunately orange and not red, and it's made with mixing 1 parts of vanillin with 3 parts of champagne. And the name that this cocktail has is given because it will hit you over the head and then cut your legs off. Okay, so what is the name of this cocktail? So kind of to get this, look at the general geographical location that we're talking about. Estonia, where is it located? Uh, Again, unfortunately, orange and not red has a great significance in the answer. So if the geographical connect and that clue, you can work something out, then the last part will hit you over the head and cut your legs off will make much more sense to you. I mean, it's not a troll, it's the name of an actual cocktail you can order in places. Just the name is slightly interesting. See, it might be illegal where you live. In Goa, 18 is the limit, so it's pretty legal. Should you know it? No, it's not a commonly known cocktail. So it's not something common like rum and coke or Cuba Libre or something. Yeah, you're not supposed to know this. You can work this out, right? Estonia, see, Estonia, where is it geographically? That area, what is red mean in that context? All right, so moving on to question number 7. Again, this question, again, if you get it, you get it. Otherwise, you'll just be horrified about the fact that I've asked a question about alcohol in a college quiz. Okay, question number 7. So basically, don't read through this. Like you can read through this entire wall of text if you want to. But basically, what this wall of text says that if, like, for a liquid, the pressure that's at the bottom of the container does not depend on the height of the granules above, but it is effectively constant regardless. Like if the height is twice that of the width, then the pressure is effectively constant, and thus the mass flow will be constant. Again, this is from MIT Technology Review. So through the above simple reasoning, like because the pressure at the bottom is constant, thus the mass flow is constant. What what use does this reasoning have in something that we would have seen? Like if the mass flow is constant, what could you use to measure? Oh yeah, in Goa the alcohol consumption age is 18. Yeah. So the basic thing that you need to thing you can focus on here is that we're talking about granules over here, and that the mass flow will remain constant. So what could this be used to reason out? Like basically, this is the scientific reasoning behind what usage of this phenomena. Cool. I kind of stay on this for slightly longer because there's some part to read over here. Again, you can also kind of take a small guess by saying that it like the granules mimic a liquid flow, so it's a constant flow, and in that even the mass flow remains constant. So like hit us with the wildest guess, even if you have no clue. Okay, cool. I'll move on in the like next 10 seconds or so. Oh yeah, we'll reveal the answers at the end of the quiz. Don't worry. All right, moving ahead. Question number 8. So Kamadhenu is a divine goddess described in Hinduism as Gaumata, the mother of all cows. She's a miraculous cow of plenty who provides her owner with whatever they desire, and is often portrayed as the mother of other cattle and gives health, wealth, happiness, and growth in life. Right. So in iconography, she is generally depicted as a white cow with a female head and breasts, the wings of a bird, and the tail of a peafowl. Now, every cow to a pious Hindu is regarded as an avatar of the divine Kamadhenu. So, despite not having a worship cult or being a chief deity in Hinduism, uh, where do approximately these number of Indians see Kamadhenu every day? The picture follows. I'll move to the picture in like around 20 seconds to give you guys a chance to read through the text. Cool. Moving on to the picture. So this is the picture of Kamadhenu, where these Indians would have seen her every day. So this is the picture of the Kamadhenu. Note the winged, uh, like the cow body, the wings, the woman's head, and all. Again, the picture is helpful only in the way that should, it should, like if it hits you as an answer. Otherwise, there's enough hints in the question itself. All right, moving back to the text. So Kamadhenu, uh, again, note the words that are italicized over here, or word that is italicized over here. That might give you a small hint. And the fact that these many people see her every day. So where could they see her every day, or what could this be? All right, this is the picture of the Kamadhenu again, in case it strikes for any of you. I'll again, I can't really tell you that, Sudeep. Fine, I tell you, it's not a place. So that's not where these many people see her every day. It's not a place, it's more of a thing. Again, I need a proper noun in your answer. Like if your answer is Bits Goa, then I want Bits Goa, not college or something. Cool. Question 8 is this. Moving on to question number 9. So the indie game Night in the Woods has lots of minor details and playable mini games within it. Okay, the following picture, which I'll show you on the next slide, is a still from Demon Tower, which is an arcade style game within the game, obviously, since it's a mini game. And the protagonist in Demon Tower is a cat. Siddharth will run through the set again. You can look at the picture back then. All right. So, what feature of most adventure style arcade games have I grayed out over here? Borrowing from a commonly used phrase. All right. So, over here, I'll accept two answers. I'll either accept what I have blanked out, like I'll show you the picture. So over here, you see I have grayed out something over on the top. So excuse me. So what could I have grayed out over here? That is generally in that position in most arcade style playing games. And it borrows from a commonly used phrase. So I accept either what I have grayed out or what is the commonly used phrase. Okay, this is the still from Demon Tower. This is the protagonist, the cat. And what would generally appear over here, which I have blanked out. For example, in Pac-Man or something, those things would, like, a certain aspect would show up in that general position. Cool. Again, the protagonist being a cat is a hint, obviously, otherwise I wouldn't have given it. Yeah, this is the question. Oh, that's nice. I actually played it a while back, so I didn't really check. It's a good game though. You guys should play it if you guys are interested in indie games. Okay, cool. So that's question number 9. This is the picture again. Something I've grayed out over here. Either this or the commonly used phrase. And so moving on to question number 10. So this act is said to be a symbol of leaving behind our ego. Now, since this is a voluntary act, the byproducts of this act are said to go to the Gandharva princess Neel Devi. Sthiti Pragna will come back to this question later when we are rerunning through the set. Then you can have a look at the picture. The picture is not really helpful. It's just that I've graded something out over there, which should generally be included in the picture. So now for question number 10, the byproducts of this act are very valuable and result in an income of over 100 crores to the place where this act is most often performed. Now, the byproducts are classified into 5 categories and they have high demand in Europe, US, China, and even in the film industry. So, what deed am I talking about over here? This deed of leaving behind our ego. Yeah, I mean, if you think Sudoku is a deed of leaving behind your ego, sure, that's the answer. Okay, cool. So, what byproducts would come from a deed of leaving behind your ego? Gandharva princess was the first to do the act. So, obviously, it is done by humans on something human. And the byproducts are classified into 5 categories, and the film industry also requires them. So, kind of hazard a guess regarding what this could be. All right. So, that's question number 10. I'll move on to question number 11 in a bit. Yeah. So, moving on to question number 11. Just 1 second. Yeah. So, can you write synonyms? Sure, write synonyms. We'll consider based on how close it is to the actual answer. Its aerodynamic behavior is consciously replicated in the design of the atmospheric re-entry mechanics of Spaceship One. One part of its name is synonymous with round-trip transport services, and the other variously meaning a valve or a tap controlling flow in plumbing, the hammer of a firearm or an upward tilt. Okay. The verb form of the word means to move or be moved rapidly back and forth. So, what is this word which is commonly associated with the world of sports? Okay, so clearly this has. Oh God. Yeah, so I guess this is pretty self-explanatory over here. Yeah, so clearly over here there is something related from the world of sports which has some sort of aerodynamic behavior replicated with it. Spaceship One again tried to mimic the design of this sport, this thing that's associated with sport. And again, as you can see, there's two parts to the name. One part is synonymous with round trip transport services, and the other part can mean any of the other things. All right, cool. So we'll move on to question number 12 in like 10 odd seconds. Okay, cool. Moving on to question number 12. So the X effect occurs when people devote so much time and attention to an activity that it begins to pattern their thoughts, mental images, and dreams. It takes its name obviously from the video game X. Now the people who played X for prolonged amount of time could find themselves thinking about ways in which different shapes or objects in the real world can fit together. For example, boxes in a supermarket. So if you've played X for a prolonged amount of time, you could just stand in the supermarket and be like, oh damn, these boxes fit together really well. So taking some hint from that, just give me the name X. You don't need to write effect in front of it. I just want what X is. It's a video game. So if you consider video gaming as a sport, then sure, it's a sport. Cool. So basically, like it's called X effect after the video game X. Different shapes or objects in the real world can fit together. That's a pretty big clue towards the game itself. So I won't be spending much time on this question. Moving on to question number 13. Okay, so this person, X, who's nicknamed Frenchie, is a scuba diver. So a group of scientists enlisted his help to narrate and at least some of the time film a group of unique sea creatures. Yeah, the answers are going to be manually verified. So if you give me an answer that's close enough to the actual answer, I'll give it correct. Yeah, so film a group of unique sea creatures and one land creature in a colony of intelligent fish. The team's mission is obviously to teach people how to behave better. Now, X is more commonly seen commenting on the passage of time when these animals go about their activities. So, like these group of unique sea creatures and this one land creature in this colony of intelligent fish going about their daily activities is when X comments the passage of time. So either ID X, like give me what X is, it's a fairly generic term, or give me the funda, like what am I talking about over here? So like I need one proper noun in the answer at least. That's the name of whatever all this is related to. Again, group of unique sea creatures and one land creature is uh, slight. X is animal or a person. X is a person. Fine, you can say X is a person. So again, a group of unique sea creatures, one land creature. Most of you would have seen this happen. It's not a group as such. You can the Frenchie, as X is nicknamed, is like the answer I'm looking for is a fairly generic term, but it's not a group; it's a specific person. So yeah, commenting on the passage of time again, you guys would have seen an internet culture also around, not just within this context. Cool. So question 13 is this. Question number 14. We'll move on to question number 14 now. Again, we're gonna run back through these questions so you can verify your answers and that you've not answered in the wrong slot somewhere. Okay. So the animal gets the first part of its name based on what common folks assume these animals came from, while the second part was on the account of their eating habits. So when they found their way to Europe, like when traders got them to Europe, they became popular because of their affectionate response to handling and feeding by humans. That trusting nature towards humans is one of the reasons why the animal found a new use, as reflected in the commonly used phrase. So, which animal am I talking about? Okay. So, animals' trusting natures towards human is what humans put towards a new use. So, like, yeah, basically, these animals don't give any trouble. So whatever the humans do with them, they are very affable with the humans. They are trusting towards humans. They are like, okay, cool, you must be doing something right. And so this name, like the name of the animal, lends its name to a commonly used phrase. Cool. So basically, just tell me which animal this is. Again, the first part of the name comes from where they thought the animals came from. So obviously, the first part of the name is going to be something related to an area or a place. And again, on account of their eating habits, so if you eat like something, I mean, again, this will just help you verify the answer if you actually got the answer. It won't help you get it. The second paragraph is where you will try to get the answer. All right, that's question 14. Moving on to question number 15. So, in early 2013, a man in Florida, or Florida man, reported that he was robbed at gunpoint when he was in the car. Now, these men armed with guns, obviously, they took away his wallet and his phone. Now, the people who robbed him also wanted to jack his car. However, due to something that one would generally associate with Americans, now it's becoming more of a global phenomenon, but something you would generally associate with Americans, these two were unable to drive away with the car, and they let the guy remain in the car while taking away his wallet and his phone. Okay, so what made them decide not to steal the car? So they saw this guy, they took his wallet, they took his phone. They saw the car, they're like, cool, we'll take this car. But then they saw the car somewhat closely, and then like, shit, we cannot take this car, so they just left this car over here and they went away. So what was the reason that they decided not to jack this car? Reads like a Florida man meme because basically all Florida man news articles are memes. So okay, so Florida man saw this car. They're like, cool, will not take this car because of something. So what was the something that made them decide not to steal the car? Okay, question number 16. So this was doodled in 2005 by its founder while the founder was at the University of Virginia, and he was taking his baby steps into running his new website. Since then, many people have created their own versions of the same doodle. However, in April 2018, the original guys behind the website issued the following instructions to be kept in mind when creating custom made versions of the doodle. That is, its head should always appear blank or neutral, and it should have orange red eyes and cannot have fingers. So, what exactly am I talking about over here? Again, if you give me a slightly descriptive answer, that is also okay, but I need a specific, like, I need some pronoun over there. You can't just be like, oh, it's a stick figure. That's not a proper answer. Cool. So website started off in 2005, obviously. Uh, Again, head should appear blank or neutral, should have orange red eyes, and cannot have any fingers. Yeah, I could go slow, but I think some people have other events to go after this, which is why I'm slightly rushing through. But cool, I'll go slower. So basically, what am I talking about over here? Like, what was this doodle, or basically, what is this entire thing about? It's okay if you give me a descriptive answer as well. Descriptive as in don't write paragraphs, like a sentence or something to describe what I'm talking about. Again, take your best guess, new website and all. All right, so this is question number 16. I'll stay on this for like 10 more seconds, then we move on to question 17. All right, question number 17. So I'll read you guys through this. It's a wall of text, I know. So when Heisenberg said, when I meet God, I'm going to ask him two questions. Harsh, I cannot comment on that. I can't even tell you if it's a mascot or not. So sorry. Okay, fine. So when Heisenberg said, when I meet God, I'm going to ask him two questions: why relativity and why turbulence? And I believe he'll have an answer for the first one. So turbulence is something so big brain that perhaps even God doesn't understand it, according to Heisenberg. And it still remains one of the hardest concepts to grasp in fluid dynamics and to understand mathematically. So now this Russian mathematician first proposed the energy of a turbulent flow at a length r varies in proportion to 5/3 the power of r. Again, some math you don't need to concern yourself with that right now. So when scientists were observing the dust and the gases around a certain star using the Hubble telescope, they observed a remarkable similarity to a late 1800s painting called X. So after digitizing this painting, they observed that the pattern of turbulent flow that was painted in the late 1800s was quite close to what is now mathematically described by the Kolmogov's equation. Okay, so basically, tell me IDX. What painting am I talking about over here? Again, turbulent flow, artist circular brushstrokes. And again, dust and gases around a certain thing that you're looking through the Hubble telescope also helps. Why Heisenberg? The question you'll ask yourself if you ever take up quantum mechanics. Cool. So yeah, basically tell me what painting is this? Like this guy painted in the 1800s, which is something which is very similar to what we now know follows the Kolmogov's equation. All right, so that's question number 17. Again, I'm moving through this slightly fast because I know it's a wall of text, but the question is kind of simple. Okay, so basically, what painting am I talking about over here? Late 1800s painting. Question 17 is this. So moving on to question number 18. So basically, what is this map about? I will need one proper noun in your answer at least. Anurag making uncertainty theorem puns. Okay, so basically, what is this map about? You can see this area is like basically it's divided into four sub areas. Now, the answer that I'm looking for is currently in the news. Fine, I'll give you one more hint. And most of the people who are quoting this answer in the news are possibly people who've never opened the thing, like whatever the answer is. Again, the answer was trending in response to something that a social media company did recently. So yeah, that should help you narrow down the general area and etc. of the trend. The rest I think is up to you to figure out. Could I repeat what part? I was just rambling. So basically, the answer that would have been in news, like okay, the reason why this answer is trending is because of something that a certain social media company did right now, like within the last 3 4 days. Like I know you guys were focusing on your midsems during the last 3 days, but again, this news was quite big, so I'm hoping some of you would have heard. Again, Urjit, I cannot tell you whether that answer is correct or not, but I can put you in a lockdown. So, so basically, the reason that this answer is trending currently in the news is because of something that a social media giant, something controversial, you could say, that a social media giant did recently. Okay. So, question number 19. Moving ahead. Okay, question number 19. So, the next slide contains an image from the Occupy Wall Street protest that took place in 2011. So, the ballerina in the poster, I'll show you the image in some time, is standing atop something that has become emblematic of Wall Street itself. Like you look at this image, you think, okay, cool, Wall Street. Critics, however, see it as a symbol for the corporate greed that unfolds when markets rise greatly. Okay, so again, lots of hints in that in this one paragraph. So simply put, what is the ballerina dancing on top of? Okay, so I'll show you the image in a bit. I'll give you like some seconds to read through the text. So what you basically need to focus on here is Wall Street, ballerina standing on top of something, which is emblematic of Wall Street itself. Okay, so the image is this. So you can see she's standing on top of something, and the poster says, "What is our one demand? Occupy Wall Street, September 17, bring tent." So my question is, what is she standing on top of? Cool. I'll go back to the text for a bit. Oh, sorry. I'll go back to the text. Cool. So what is this ballerina standing on top of? That is emblematic of Wall Street itself. So again, I need one specific term over here to give you guys the points. Cool. So moving on to question number 20. So this song recorded by a British singer was released as a single in 1987. It became a worldwide number one hit and initially in the UK and later worldwide as well. It was, however, also voted onto the list of 50 most awesomely bad songs ever by VH1. So what song could I be talking about over here? Again, if you've been on the internet for any period of time, you might have come across this song somewhere. Cool. So yeah, I mean, pretty self-explanatory question. The song was good enough to be a worldwide number one hit, but is somehow bad enough to also make it to VH1's 50 most possibly bad songs ever list. Again, give me whatever you feel is the closest to the answer. Since you're manually checking it, I'll use my discretion to see if that's acceptable answer or not. Whew. Okay, then. So that's question number 20. Questions number 21 through 25 have two parts each. So on your Google form, you'll find them labeled as 21A and 21B, and so on. Within each part, whatever I've asked first is 21A, and whatever I okay. So when you're filling the form, try not to switch around too much because we might still consider an answer, but if it comes to a tie break, then we won't consider an answer over someone else who's written the answer correctly. Okay. So moving on to question number 21. So utilizing a previously unused advertising space, some companies that sell a particular type of product are looking to advertise during matches in the Big Bash League that's going on right now. Okay, these companies are thus probably hoping that an excitement gathered during some of the big moments in a match, like a wicket or a six, uh, can help in increasing their sales. Oh wait, where did my voice lag? Could you guys just tell me so I can go back? Oh yeah, I was basically saying that the questions from 21 to 25 onwards have two parts each. So like suppose for question number 21, since I've asked what product first, so that is 21A, and then I've asked what is this advertising space, so that is what you should fill in 21B. Cool. So over here in this question, kind of focus on the part that in wicket or a six, so someone on the field does something during a wicket or a six. So what sort of companies could look to advertise these products? And if you've got somewhere close to that answer, where would they look to advertise it? You can work on this either way around. You can either get where would they advertise and then get the company or type of company, or the other way around. Again, like one specific person on the field does something different during a wicket or a six. Again, what product is 21A and what is the advertising space is 21B? So if you've got somewhat of an idea who that specific person is who does something different during a wicket or a six, then see what they're doing different. And so you could get a particular area where this advertising is there. Again, if I say something more than this, I might give the answer away. So I'll just shut up. Okay, so I'll move on to question number 22. Okay, so a YouGov survey was tracking the global spread of a particular food item, which until 2017 was primarily manufactured by Kraft, the company. So while they were looking at this data, they realized that they also obtained what was basically a representation of the population of a particular nationality in those exact areas. So basically, this food item and this country are so well linked together that looking at one will give you the population of the other in any survey that you're doing. So, what is this food item and what country am I talking about? Again, just to help you out slightly, the answer is not bat and China. So, and again, the name of this food item is slightly specific. So, given that this is a double part answer, I'll need both parts proper. Again, if you don't know one part, like if you don't know 22A, that is the food item, you can always hazard a guess for 22B, that's the country. So, nothing stopping you from guessing random stuff over here. Cool. So basically, this food item and the country quite well linked together, which is why there's a clear correlation. Partial marking, yeah, yeah. Because these questions have 2 marks each, you'll get one mark. Don't worry. Okay. So either so give me the food item for 22A and give me the country for 22B. You can attempt one or both or none. That's completely up to you. I'd suggest take a guess. Okay, question number 23 coming ahead is this. So, this expert in Russian history from UCL said that locals in Russia would turn against people if they stood out from the general public. Like, extremely poor were considered a burden, and the rich were regarded to have made their money by exploiting others. Okay, so like if you were somewhere in the middle, you were like nice guy. If you are very poor, you are like cool, you're a burden. If you're very rich, you're like you exploited others. So it is possibly for the above reason why, in a particular context that happens for a few weeks, usually annually. Again, this event that I'm talking about over here, this particular context. Sorry, just 1 second. Okay, so in this event is set is conducted in many different countries: India, US, UK. You definitely would have seen the Indian version of this event at some point in your life. Okay, so Russians felt that this certain part in this event was unfair for a set of lucky people who would be able to avail in one set of aids that would keep them alive in the pursuit from rags to riches. And so this option was later removed from the Russian version of the event. So who exactly are these people? Like, basically, what event are these people participating in? So what would you call these people? And what much availed aid otherwise? Okay, work slightly on this. Uh, think about the fact that you are stopped in your pursuit of money, but being able to use a certain set of aids will allow you to stay alive in that pursuit of earning more money. So an event where you earn money, which has versions in India, US, UK, and a certain context within that event. So who exactly are these people, and what is the otherwise availed aid? Again, partial points are there. If you just identify the event and give me the wrong aid, that's also okay. You will get 1 mark for that. If you get both correct, you'll obviously get two. It's not insanely tough, I would say. If you can figure out an event, see, if you can figure out an event that takes place in the India, US, UK for a few weeks annually, where people can go from rags to riches, then that should give you a general idea of who these people are. And for the availed aid, see, look at the fact that they are using the work of others. So they're exploiting the work of others to make money for themselves. Yeah, part A is who are these people, part B is what aid are they availing of. So if the answer is BITS Goa people applying for MCN, then A is BITS Goa students and B is MCN. Cool. So if you have a general idea about the event, you can hazard a guess for the aid as well. Again, keeping in mind the fact that others' work is being used to further your progress is kind of important to get the aid. Okay. So moving on to question number 24. Uh, yeah. So this person found several unidentifiable hair on his first trip somewhere and eventually undertook another trip to that place just to get to the heart of the mystery. So in his autobiography, he claims that although he never saw the creature himself, his father had seen it twice. So identify the man I'm talking about over here and the creature in the question. Creature in question. The picture follows. The picture should lead you very easily to the creature in question, and the man would come from context clues. So I'll show you the picture right now. So this is the picture. You can see that he's drawn what the person thinks he looks like. Look at the gear at the back. So that gear is specifically used for a certain type of exploration. So you guys could hazard a guess for the person from that. Like, you can notice this gear, which is specifically used for a certain type of exploration. Okay, so the cool. So ID the man and the creature in question. Again, for the man, if you have no clue, just go for the most famous name you can think of in the general field. Because anyways, that would have been your guess. So it doesn't hurt to just go with it. Perhaps you're right. Yeah. So this is the text again. So this person found this hair and he's like, I need to go back to this place again and I need to solve the mystery. And though he never saw it himself, his own father says he's seen it twice. So what's the man? Sorry, who's the man and what's the creature in the question? Okay, so that's question number 24. Question number creature in B, man in A. Yeah, identify the man in A and put the creature in B. Okay, so for question number 25, again, there's two parts. The question is not that long, so we won't take that much time on it. After question number 25, we'll do a slight rerun through the questions. So that will be much faster than what I've proceeded till now. That is just to basically help you see whether you put the right answers in the right slots and all. Okay. After I reach question 25 and close the set, like I close the slideshow, I will wait for 2 minutes. You guys should start submitting your form within those 2 minutes. If any forms reach, like I'll stop the form acceptance after 2 minutes itself. So if any forms reach me after that period of time, then the form itself won't submit. So yeah, again, and I also get timestamps when you guys are submitting the form. So if by some glitch it gets submitted, I won't accept the entry. Okay, yeah, I'm rerunning through all the questions once. So basically, this is question number 24. This is the picture for question 24. This is the person this is the person I wanted to identify. This is the creature I wanted to identify. A is the man and B is the creature. Cool. So moving on to question number 25, the last question of your prelims set is this. So in September 2009, a jaundice outbreak spread within close quarters in this place, leading to state experts collecting water samples for testing and advising sponsored vaccination against hepatitis for all the residents in this place. A certain special measure was also taken for the very first time by the authorities of this place to help contain the spread of jaundice. So, what measure could this be, and what place am I talking about? Again, what measure in A and what place in B? Again, know that I don't expect you to get some very specific, like get some very vague answer from just what I've written over here. There's obviously some significance as to why I've thought of including this question into your freshers quiz set. So basically, what measure was taken over here, and what place am I talking about? Again, there's part points for either part. It's the same. The autobiography author and the man in the photo is the same for question number 24. Cool. So question number 25, September 2009 jaundice outbreak. State experts collected water samples for testing and sponsored vaccination against hepatitis. Now, a certain special measure was also taken by authorities to contain the spread of jaundice. So, what is this measure? And again, note the fact that I've written the very first time. So, this certain special measure did happen again after like a break of a decade or something. Yeah. So, after about that much break, this special measure was taken again in this place. So, what measure, what place? Cool. Question 25. Just put some random guess in case you guys don't know what I'm talking about. If you guys do know what I'm talking about, fine, go ahead with whatever answer you want to put. And again, it's not like there's a reason why this question is there in your set. It's not completely random. Cool. So if everyone is okay, we'll just do a quick run through the set again. This is again basically just to ensure that you guys have put the right answers in the right places. So I won't be stopping for too long on any one question. Cool. So moving back. Okay, question number one: molecules, elements in a certain logo can be explained as blah blah blah. Yeah, I'm coming to it. Yeah. Again, go through the instructions that are there on your stream. So this molecule lotus flower rocket gear, what logo am I talking about over here? So family based out of Wisconsin, also common surname, common surname in Germany, and thus the surname is also there in the Netflix series Dark. And there's a company they founded which is now in a completely different field. There was also Lateral Sports Connect, where it's a sponsor of a very big sports team. Okay, so this certain music track on the album Medal was part of the best of album, and there's a clever spoof for different song at the end, which was on the Desert Island disc of the Scottish manager. So, what different song is being talked about over here? Question 4: minimalistic poster for what movie? I didn't give any further hints for this one. Question 5. Basically, at Netflix, this small term is used for this. This term also means part of the cell containing DNA, RNA, blah, 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 and can be cloned from this. Keep calm and fill in the blanks. Again, the italicized parts are part of the hint. Question 6 is this rum-based liquor, which all of you got shocked at for some reason. So, yeah. So, if you mix it in this way, it's slightly sad that it's not red, and it will hit you over the head and then cut your legs off. That's how strong it is. So, what could the name be for hit you over the head and then cut your legs off? And it's sadly not red. So, what is this cocktail called? No, the point of the recap is that I go fast, so you can just tally your answers, Tushar. I'm not waiting for you to attempt again. Okay, so there's this granules in this container, and basically pressure remains constant at the bottom, and so the mass flow remains constant. So because of the mass flow remaining constant, you guys can measure something using that. So basically, what are we trying to measure over here, or what is this explanation behind? Okay, so Kamadhenu, divine goddess, she doesn't have that much of a uh, worship cult, or she's not a chief deity in Hinduism, but around 14 lakh people see her every day. So where 14 lakh Hindus see her every day. So I mean 14 lakh people see her every day, but she's a Hindu goddess. My bad. So that is Kamadhenu. That's the picture of Kamadhenu. So basically, where would these people see Kamadhenu? Okay. Moving on. Question number 9. The indie game Night in the Woods. Lots of minor details and playable mini games. Demon Tower has a certain arcade, is an adventure arcade style game, which has a certain feature grayed out, borrowing from a commonly used phrase, and the protagonist is a cat. So yeah, I've grayed out something over here. Basically, tell me either what I've grayed out or the commonly used phrase that I've mentioned over here. Okay, that's question number 9. Question number 10. Okay, this act is said to be a symbol of leaving our ego, blah, 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 blah. And the byproduct is valuable, large income, classified into 5 categories, used in Europe, US, China, and even in film industry. So what deed am I talking about over here? Ideally, I would like a proper noun in this answer. If you've not given a proper noun, just a general description, I will check how much points to give you. Okay, that's question number 10. Question number 11. So the aerodynamic behavior of this thing associated with the world of sports was replicated in Spaceship One. And again, two parts to the name. First part is synonymous with round trip transport services, and the other part can mean a valve or a tap controlling flow in plumbing. So the verb form of this obviously means to move rapidly back and forth, which might give you a slight idea towards the sport as well. So basically, what is the one term that I'm looking for? I don't want the sport, I want the specific word. Okay, question number 12. X effect occurs when you play so much time, when you devote too much time to an activity. So if you play this game X, you could start thinking about how did different objects fit in together in the real world. So basically, what is X? X is obviously the name of a video game. That's all I want. Question 13. This person, nicknamed Frenchie, is a scuba diver, and he films this group of unique sea creatures and one land creature. Commonly seen commenting on the passage of time when his animals go about their activity. Basically, give me X or give me what this question is all about. Like, what am I helping describe over here? Okay, question 14. Animal gets the first part of its name from a certain geographical location where people thought these animals came from. The second part was on the account of their eating habits. So they were eating like something. Okay, so blah 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 blah. They're very trusting towards humans, and so the human found a new use for them, and that's used in a common phrase. So which animal is this? Question 15. Florida man got robbed, but they didn't take his car. Why didn't they take his car? Again, I think we spent enough time on this question, anyways. So this was a doodle in 2005 by this guy who set up a new website back then. After that, a lot of people created their own versions, but in 2018, they released a set of guidelines for what you should keep in mind while creating your own versions of this. So basically, what exactly is being talked about over here? I'll need at least one proper noun in your answer. So Heisenberg said all this regarding relativity and turbulent flows are very difficult to understand. But this one 1800s painter did a painting which was very similar to this equation, which is now known to us mathematically to be the representative of the flow patterns. So basically, give me the painting. The painting is all I want over here. Okay. So question 18, what is this map all about? Again, the answer I told you is currently in the news for something that a social media giant did very recently, but within the last 2-3 days. You can see this divided into four parts. So if any of you can hazard a guess towards what this could be, that would be great. Okay. Timeline for this question, no, like I won't give that. Question 18. Question 19. It's a slide from Occupy Wall Street protest poster that took place in 2011. So she's standing on top of something that can be seen as the symbol of corporate greed. What is she standing on top of, or what is she dancing on top of? This is the image. I basically want whatever I write out over here. Okay. So question number 20. This song recorded by a British singer is good enough to be a worldwide #1 hit, and somehow also bad enough to be on the list of most awesomely bad songs ever by VH1. So what song could I be talking about over here? Again, you would have come across this song if you've been on the internet for some amount of time. Question 21. This is the two-parter. So keep in mind about the order. Unused advertising space, certain type of companies in the Big Bash League. So somebody does something when a wicket or a six is hit. So these companies thought, cool, let's use this as an advertising space for our product. So what product in 21A and what is the advertising space in 21B? Okay. All right. So a YouGov survey was tracking this blah blah blah. Basically, this food item and this country are very intrinsically linked together. So what food item and what country? Okay. So question 23. So this certain event that happens that has variants in India, US, UK, Russia, etc. Allows you to take up on the pursuit from rags to riches. But Russians felt that it was unfair for the set of people to avail in a particular set of aids that would allow them to benefit from the work of others. So who exactly are these people? What is this much availed aid otherwise? Okay. So question number 23. No, Arav, I can't go back to question number 15. I'm very sorry. Question 24. Person found several unidentifiable hair on a strip somewhere. So he took another trip over there. He claims he never saw the creature himself. His dad saw it twice. So ID the man and the creature. This is the creature I want. Creature is part B and man is part A. Yeah. Man, this guy part A. This creature part B. Okay. So last question. This jaundice outbreak happened in one place where they collected water for testing and all and advised vaccination. A certain special measure was taken for the first time to contain the spread in this place. So, and the measure was taken by the authorities of this place. So, what measure and what place am I talking about? Again, the reason why this question is in the set. So, with that, I'm starting a timer on my phone for 2.5 minutes. No, actually, 2.5 minutes is too much. I'm starting a timer for 2 minutes. When this timer ends, I'm closing the form. So, just keep that in mind. And cool, start submitting your forms right now, guys. I'm waiting for 1 minute and 50 seconds, Abhinav. I went through the questions. I went through the questions again also. Siddhant, you'll get the result by sometime tomorrow, I think. Whenever we're done with checking, we'll send out another mail to you guys. Cool. Cool. I've received 39 responses till now. I don't know in then how many teams ended up attempting the quiz itself. So I'll just close the form as soon as my timer runs out. The finals are there on the 12th at 6 p.m. Again, we'll contact the people who are there, who have qualified for the finals, and we'll tell you guys the procedure and everything in a bit. Oh yeah, guys, stick around in the link in the stream. We'll move on to the answers of the set in a bit. So if you guys want the answers, just stick around for a bit. And yeah, I'll announce the answers right now. So the finals, we'll let you guys know who is qualified. We'll drop mail to them. And we'll also put it up on our Facebook page, on our Instagram page as a story that we've finished checking out. These are the finalists. How many will qualify? We'll have to take a decision on that because again, I don't like disqualifying people based on 0.5 marks that they missed out somewhere, or based on some start question that they missed out somewhere. But again, if there's too many of you who are there, then I'll have to be slightly strict. So right now we're thinking top 8, but it might go up to top 9 or top 10. So we'll let you guys know in a certain amount of time. Yeah. So cool. My timer is stopped. I've received 68 responses till now. I will stop accepting responses in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Cool. So, and I've stopped accepting responses. So cool. So yeah, we'll check through the answers and we'll let you guys know who's qualified and who's not qualified. Again, we will be streaming the finals on the YouTube page as well. So if you guys want to tune in for the finals, please feel free to do that as well. Cool. Now I'll share the answers with you guys. Just give me a second. I'll just get the slide in order. Okay. So wait, I'll just share my other screen. Just give me a second. Share screen. Yeah. Cool. So present. Yeah. Okay. So these are the answers to the prelims. So again, first question. Are there any guesses in the chat? You can just put in. Yeah, because I told you it. I gave you a 2-minute window, Aryan. Yeah, Puneet. Wait. We'll do it question wise. Fine. Aryan, PM me right now. Fine. Yeah. This is the bits logo. You can see the molecule, the rocket, the logo, the lotus in the middle, and the gear surrounding it. Cool. So kind of easy one to start you guys off with. Cool. So question number 2, family based out of Wisconsin, also has a surname in dark, and now it's in a completely different field. So if you guys have any guesses for that, put it in the chat. No, Ishan Kantia will come to the cocktail in a bit. We'll go question wise. Yeah, this is Cole or Kohler. Kohler is the company I was looking for. The Sports Connect was obviously they're the first leaf sponsors in the Premier League. And Kohler is obviously a surname in the Netflix series Dark, Alexander Kohler. So certain track on this, but what was a different song that I was looking for that the track ended up being? Kohler sponsors Manchester United, the first leaf sponsor in the Premier League. That was a precise clue I gave you. Cool. Anyone for this? What is a different song that I'm talking about here on the Desert Island Discs? Cool. This is basically You'll Never Walk Alone, or the Liverpool theme song, as Rishabh has so poetically put it. Okay, so fine enough. A minimalistic poster for which movie? Yeah, this is Home Alone. So the two paint cans are what he uses to take out the robbers in Home Alone. Cool. So question 5 at Netflix. What is this small blank that I'm looking for? It's not Genie. It's not Genie. Netflix Genie is a different thing. It's not Nucleus. Aditya Agarwal gets correct with Carry On. Again, the hint over here was keep calm and carry on, like the posters. So that's it. Carry on. So again, the hint why it is not Nucleus and why it's Carry On is keep calm and carry on, as Kamaljeet has put it over there. So I told you there's a reason those words were italicized in the question. Okay, the cocktail question is hammer and sickle, because it will hit you over the head and then it'll cut your legs off. And there's a sad reason it's not red, because obviously the hammer and sickle is the communist symbol. Okay. Question number 7, this entire scientific description for something. So this is basically why sand flows in an hourglass at a constant rate. So which is why you can use an hourglass to measure the time. Cool. Yeah, flow rate, but I needed hourglass in the answer. Again, I talked about granules and that it can mimic a fluid. So if any of you have put hourglass in your answer, then that is acceptable. Cool. So Kamadhenu, where would these many people see her every day? Yeah, this is basically on letterhead of the Hindu, the newspaper The Hindu. So yeah, there's Kamadhenu on the side. There is the elephant on the right. I mean, I'm sure it might be on some ghee packet, but I don't think 14 million people see that ghee packet every day. Cool. So this game, what commonly used phrase or what had I blanked out over there? Cool. This is a cat has 9 lives basically. So I had blanked out the lives over there. So if you saw it, if you play Demon Tower, the cat will have 9 lives over there. Okay. So question number 10. Okay. So this act, symbol of leaving your ego. The byproducts are worth this much. So what deed are you performing over here? Dakshina, this is tonsuring, basically like shaving off your hair and donating it to the temple. Yeah, hair donation from Nandakumar gets it right. Yeah, fine. Anything that tells us that you're shaving your head and you're donating it to some deity is all right with us. Okay, so the aerodynamic behavior of the sports equipment. Yeah, it is used in hair implants, but hair implant is not what I was looking for. Health bar will consider the answer because again I was very specific about that common phrase in which it is used. So we'll consider the answer. Yeah, again we'll have to see what the others have also answered. It will be unfair to them if they got it correct. Yeah, this is obviously shuttlecock. Okay, so X effect, where you could fit different shapes or objects in the real world which can't actually fit together. Lives, we might consider lives. Again, that is a slightly, yeah, fine, we'll consider lives. Yeah, number of lives remaining is also correct. Okay, for the 12th question, any takers? Yeah, this is a Tetris effect. Cool. So this is a Tetris effect. Okay. Question 13. This guy Frenchy. Who's Frenchy or what am I talking about over here? Not Sudoku. Feathering. No, I need shuttlecock because I told you that the answer had 2 parts. This is SpongeBob. That's correct. This is the French narrator from SpongeBob who says a few moments later, etc., etc., etc. I mean, yeah, generally, if there's a narrator, Morgan Freeman is the safe guess to put, but not this time. No, this is not Frenchie from The Boys. I haven't seen The Boys, but I assume they don't live underwater with sea creatures. Cool. So, yeah, moving on. Question number 14. So, basically, this animal very trusting of humans. So, what animal am I talking about over here? Yeah, only SpongeBob will work. But then again, if someone has written the narrator from SpongeBob, we'll have to give them maybe slightly preference. It is not a groundhog or an African elephant or a dog or a German Shepherd. It is a guinea pig, as a lot of you have said. So that's the reason guinea pigs are used so widely in labs because they're very trusting of humans. So whatever test the humans do on them, they're like, cool, human kar raha acha yoga. So this is guinea pig. Guinea is obviously a location, and pig is because they ate like pigs. Bruh, the answer is okay. Yeah, fine. If you've written some specific name, then we'll consider that. Don't worry. Okay, so in early 2013, this guy was like, Florida में इसका चोरी हुआ. Why couldn't they take the car away? Yeah, fine. This was manual transmission. It was a stick shift. So if you've written manual transmission instead of automatic or stick shift, we'll consider that. Obesity, again, I would like to accept the answer, but then again, if you don't know how to drive stick shift, you can't really drive a car away, right? Cool. Again, no oil is not really an American problem. They find ways to get that oil from. So, okay. So basically, they can't drive manual transmission cars. That's it. Okay, question 16. This one website. Basically, what is this entire fund about? This is Snoo from Reddit. This is Snoo, the Reddit logo. So basically, any subreddit can have its own Snoo, but there are certain guidelines that people need to follow. Okay, so this long ass question: what is this painting about? This is the Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh. So you can see the turbulent flow and the circular brushstrokes in the back. And when people digitized this painting, they saw it was very close to what the equation predicts nowadays. Cool. So that's that. Question 18. What was this map all about? Garvit, we'll see if you've written something ahead of Reddit, like Reddit logo or Reddit person or Reddit thing or something. Then we'll accept that. Okay, Rishabh gets this one. This is a map of the states mentioned in Orwell's 1984. Now, again, 1984 is in the news right now because again Trump got banned from Twitter. So all of his right wing supporters came out and said, "Oh, this is like 1924 and 1984 and censorship." But again, most of those have never opened 1984 and read it. So yeah, so this is basically the maps of the states mentioned in 1984. Okay, so question 19, a slide from the Occupy Wall Street protest. So what was that? What have I whited out over here? This is a charging bull in Wall Street, uh, a bull that's emblematic of Wall Street by itself. Big Bull of Bitcoin, that's the Wall Street club you're looking for, not the quiz club. Yeah, Raging Bull, again, we'll consider something which has bull and something with regards to it. Cool. So, yeah, so this is basically the bull in front of Wall Street or the charging bull. So, question 20. Yeah, we'll consider something which is bull in it. Cool. Brilliant. Question 20, Rickroll. Or never gonna give you up, basically, by Rick Astley. If you've written a Rickroll, then we might consider it. Okay, so basically, what is this unused advertising space? Armpit and deodorant is correct. I hope you got the order right over there. So this is basically in Big Bash. They're allowing umpires to have armpit advertising for sure, the deodorant brand. So when an umpire raises their arms to signal a wicket or a six, their armpits are visible, and so you can see uh, the brand name sure. So that's their advertising strategy. Cool. So this YouGov survey, this food item and this country linked very closely. What food item? What country? No, I wanted specific portion. Like, fine. If it comes to a tiebreak, I won't consider it. But I'll see if I want to accept umpire or not. Top zero nahi, Americans nahi, USA nahi, not Sweden and Goa. Macaroni and cheese nahi. Near umpire Pradyumna again. I'll have to check this on a per question basis. So if it's close enough to what I want as an answer, I'll say yes. If it's far enough away, I'll say no. Yeah, sorry, I kind of went offline. My bad, my Wi-Fi kind of crapped out in the middle. So this is not ramen on Japan. This is not beer and Bitsians. Oh wow, I don't think anyone got the correct answer. Cool. So this is basically Vegemite and Australians. So if you're looking at places where people consume or buy Vegemite, you'll also find a number of Australians living over there. Yeah, it happens. It happened in the middle of exam for me. So cool. Vegemite and Australia is the answer I was looking for. If anyone has, who would know this? People who know that Australians eat only Vegemite would know this. Cool. So that's it. If you've given me either of those parts, you'll get part points. So as per this person, this Russian dude, Russians are like collective मेहनत से खुद का wealth नहीं बढ़ाते. So who are these people and what is this aid that they would have used? Yeah, spread is a clue in the question. This is Russian who wants to be a millionaire, and what would be the aid that they would avail of? This is the Ask the Audience helpline on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. So on the Russian Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, this was removed because they are like, you can't use the work of the group to increase your own wealth. Cool. Okay, so yeah, so that's that. Now next question number 24. Okay, so this guy found this creature. So yeah, it is Yeti, and this is Edmund Hillary, who climbed the who was the first person to climb Mount Everest. Cool. Yeah, so Edmund Hillary. Okay, question number 25, which was the last question for this set. Any takers for this one? What measure, what place? Not Gujarat, not Russia. Some Darshi Kumar gets it. It is BITS Goa. What classes suspended in BITS Goa? Fine, kind of close enough, so I give it to you. This is basically they sent students back home for a period of 2 weeks at BITS Planning Goa campus in 2009. Obviously, it happened again later in 2020, but they sent us back telling us that BITS sent us back for 2 weeks, but we're still at home. So, yeah, that's the question. Class suspension and all, fine, we'll accept all those. All those. If you've got the general funda about it. Yeah, quarantine and all we'll accept. See, if you got a general idea of the answer, we'll accept those answers. It'll have to be on a case by case basis, so I can't tell you right now if I'll accept it or not. Cool, yeah, so that's the quiz, guys. Yeah, I can't tell you right now if it'll be accepted or not. I think I will accept lockdown, but which questions for Google Trap? Why would I tell you that? Cool. Finals will be streamed for all. Not all will be able to participate in the finals, but yes, they will be streamed for all. So yeah, feel free to join us in the finals if you guys want to and don't qualify. If you qualify, please. Will the marks be uploaded on Quanta? Sadly, no. The professors don't give me access to your Quanta details, so I can't do that. So yeah, again, Rishabh, I'll have to check all those answers on a case by case basis. I can't tell you right now if all those answers will be accepted or not. Okay, so yeah, that's the quiz. We'll tell you guys about the results. We'll send a mail about tomorrow. And yeah, so that's that. Cool. Have fun, guys. Yeah, Divya, I'll mail you. Whoever qualifies, I'll mail them. And mostly we should be able to tell you by tomorrow evening. Yeah. Hope you all had fun. And oh, if my t-shirt was distracting, you should come to campus too. There's much more distracting things over here. Cool. So bye bye, guys. Hope you had a good time. Hope this quiz was up to your liking and everything. Do attend the finals. It will be slightly more entertaining than I was today because the juniors are in charge of it. So yeah, Gurbaz, if you want my t-shirt, I won the freshers quiz, which is why I got this t-shirt now. Cool. So yeah, hope you guys also had a nice mid-sem. I mean, it's kind of oxymoron to say that, but yeah, fair enough. Enjoy the rest of the inductions, enjoy the rest of the pre-induction events, and hope you find something good in BITSCO.